Hello, my name is Barry Bassnett, and welcome to Rich Pix's training course on 360 imagery, focusing on applications for inspection. Now, I'm a big fan of 360. I've been doing it for 15 years, and hopefully in the next 5 weeks I'm going to be sharing with you and shortening your learning curve to build a new business, a new career skill, which I think is going to be really important for anybody working as a land surveyor, architecture, the built environment, natural environments, inspection, a whole of applications. And over the next 5 weeks, we're going to be looking at what we can do to take you from either nil experience, a little bit experience, to actually building a business and a service around 360 imagery. Now, I think the 360 imagery is the hardest technical skill in photography to master, and one of the benefits of doing this is if you can do it, then you'll be able to apply lots of the lessons you learn to all sorts of other aspects of visualization and data capture. In reality capture, point cloud colorization, how to improve the imagery you use in photogrammetry, whether that's drone based, terrestrial, underwater, just basic inspection photography. Now, most of what I've learned over the last 20 years really has not come from the geomatic sector. It's come from the CGI film effects business. And what I've done is try to transfer some of those skills and not simplify them, but make them more easily accessible, using basically off-the-shelf camera technology, equipment, bracketry, and things like that. But over the next 5 weeks, we'll be looking at basically into 5 different sections, although there's modules, as you'll see in the content. The first week, we're going to be doing it on a sort of like a weekly bit. So I'll be releasing 6 hours of video every Monday for you to look at. So first week, we'll be going to look at the hardware. What do we need? What are the types of cameras available? What do we need for different applications? And also look at some of the field craft about taking the information or taking the photographs and what we might need to be able to do. In week 2, we're going to be looking at image processing. How can we take the photographs, optimize them, enhance them, make them so they're the best quality possible before we put them into our stitching softwares or our photogrammetry softwares or whatever we might want to be using. We'll be focusing on 2 programs or 2 programs for that. And I'll send you the links in the first week, in the first module, of all the stuff you might need. We'll be focusing on 2 particular programs of editing image software called Capture One, and also we'll be talking about Lightroom as well. If you want to use Lightroom, we can demonstrate in both, and we will be. But there's reasons I prefer Capture One, as you'll see. And we'll also be looking at some of the stitching softwares that we need to use to get the best quality imagery that we can, so you can't see the join. In week 3, we'll be looking at some of the ways of sharing and publishing this information. What are the platforms? How can we build different ways of sharing this information so our clients and us can use it as simply as possible? In week 4, we come on to probably, it's not the sexy part of it, but probably one of the most important things that I think is going to be huge in the future of geomatics, asset inspection, whatever it is. And that is to be able to answer 3 questions. Where was the photograph taken? In other words, how do we geotag it? How do we position it? Where in the building or where on the planet was this photograph actually taken? The other thing is to look at when was it taken, because an awful lot of inspection is looking at trends and changes in conditions. So it's vital that we have a timeline so we can look and compare. And how do we do that? And the third thing, and the one that's probably most overlooked, is we take millions, probably billions of photographs every year of assets and things we may want to communicate. But what is it a photograph of? How can we sort these out? How can we make improve what I call findability? So week 4, we're going to be looking at those processes, and this is really important because this type of process and what I'm thinking is going to possibly build a complete new sector in our industry. How can you find things? How can you help your client find the right information? And in week 5, we'll be looking at some real live examples, taking you from hero to zero right the way through, 4 or 5 key examples. And you'll be doing that along with me, because I'll be sending you links so you can download the raw files and play along and do your things. And at the end of that, you're going to send me some of your stuff, your products back, and we'll go a 1-by-1 critique of those and go through those. So this course is around about 30 hours. It's quite dense, so that's why we're splitting it up into 5 sessions. But also bear in mind that all of you who register get 2 hours of one-to-one time with me to answer any additional questions, talk about particular applications, things that haven't quite gelled. Now, that's for the duration of the course, but as part of the membership, or the registration, you're also going to be part of what I call of my Patreon community, which means you get free access to me at any time to answer any questions for the next year or so. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing. Buckle up, it's going to be really interesting. We're going to jump into module 1. However, if you haven't registered yet, it's not too late. This is an ongoing course. You can join at any time. You just pick up, and it's self-paced. So if you want to register for the course, there'll be a link down below or on the next screen where you can go to the website, find out more about the content, and register and reserve your seat. But if you've already registered, great. We're going to jump into module 1 now, which is a bit of an overview of 360, where it fits in, and the kit you need to do. You need to have in order to accomplish the particular applications that you're looking at. Okay, so let's jump into module 1.